Hello, hello! Welcome back to Pinay Investor YouTube channel. Ako po si Janice, ang inyong Pinay Investor. Happy New Year! What better way to start the year by looking into our finances. Pero bago yan, pasalamatan muna natin si Lord syempre dahil naitawid natin ang 2024 despite all the challenges, financial struggles, or kung ano pa mang mga pagsubok ang inyong kinaharap ng 2024. And I'm here today para i-share sa inyo kung ano nga ba yung pwede natin gawin para ma-improve ang ating finances ngayong taon. I'm also excited to share with you ang aking bagong budget spreadsheet na kakatapos ko lang gawin at sana makatulong din sa inyo. Whether you have a lot of debts to pay ngayong 2025 or marami kayong mga financial goals na kailangang pag-ipunan, lahat ng yan ay kailangang paghandaan. Kaya naman wag na nating patagalin pa, pag-usapan na natin kung paano natin maaayos ang ating finances. Unang-una, alamin natin yung ating current financial situation. And to do that, kailangan gumawa tayo ng ating net worth statement. Ano ba yung net worth? Ito yung listahan ng ating mga assets o pag-aari at yung ating mga liabilities, yung ating mga pagkakautang. What I own, assets. What I owe, liabilities. And why is this important? Para malaman natin yung tunay na ating current financial situation. Minsan kasi akala natin ang dami nating pera, hindi natin napapansin marami pa pala tayong pagkakautang, marami pa tayong kailangang bayaran. So this is very important that we start with our net worth. So paano gawin ito? Ililista po natin lahat ng ating mga assets. Starting from your cash on hand. Magkano ba yung cash na meron ka ngayon sa wallet mo, sa drawer mo? E-wallets, kung may mga e-wallets kayo, GCash, Maya, or anong pa man, ilagay nyo magkano yung current balance sa mga accounts na yan. And include also your savings account, checking accounts. And if you have investments, like you have investments in the stock market, meron kayong mutual funds or UITFs, ilagay nyo rin dyan. Include nyo rin kung meron kayong mga properties like house or car, magkano yung current value ng mga assets na yon, ng mga properties na yon. You can also include your jewelries, gadgets, or any other valuables. And kahit yung estimate lang ng value ng mga assets na yan. So that's for the first column. And then ilagay natin dito yung amount. Then dito naman sa third column, ito yung liabilities. Dito natin ililista yung ating mga pagkakautang. So kung mayroon kayong mga credit card loans, credit card debts na kailangang bayaran, ilagay nyo rin dito and their corresponding amounts. In terms of your loans, for example, meron kayong housing loan. Yung current value, ilalagay nyo siya dito sa assets. Tapos kung binabayaran nyo pa siya, naka-loan siya, magkano pa yung current balance ng inyong housing loan. And it's the same thing with your car loan. So, ganun siya. Kung meron din kayo mga personal loans or utang sa kapitbahay, utang sa kamag-anak, sa kapamilya, ilagay nyo rin dito yan. After that, makikita na natin kagad dito, you don't have to do anything, naka-formula na po yan. Makikita natin yung total assets and yung total liabilities. To get the net worth, it's just simply assets minus liabilities. So, ganito nyo po siya pwedeng gawin. And now, makikita nyo sa ating sample, positive. Marami kang assets, marami ka ring liabilities, pero ang lumabas, positive. And that's a good thing. Now, paano naman kung negative yung kinalabasan? That's okay. Ang mahalaga, aware ka na kung nasan ka ngayon in terms of your net worth. Positive, negative, it's okay. And now that you know your net worth, pwede ka nang mag-isip ng mga paraan kung paano mo mai-improve, paano mo papataasin ang iyong net worth. I suggest that you do this at least once a year. Kung kaya mong gawin every month, every quarter, okay lang yan. Pwede nyo itong gawin sa papel. Isulat nyo lahat. Ano ba yung mga assets namin? Magkano na ba yung value ng aming bahay at lupa? O kaya yung car namin, nagde-depreciate ang value, magkano na kaya? Meron pa ba kayong mga loans? So, ilista nyo din and then get your net worth. Ang net worth, it answers the question, where are you now? Ngayon naman, tanungin natin ang ating mga sarili, where are you going? What do you want to achieve? What are your dreams? Ito yung mga pangarap natin. Kasi lahat ng pangarap natin, may kaakibat yan na price tag. Kaya dapat sinusulat natin yung ating mga financial goals para alam natin somehow kung on track ba tayo, malayo pa ba tayo, malapit na ba tayo, achieve na ba natin o hindi pa natin nasisimulan. Dito sa ating financial goals, may tatlo tayong categories. So merong pang short-term goals, 1 to 2 years, medium-term goals, 3 to 5 years, long-term goals, 5 plus years. Nasa inyo rin yan. Pwede nyong gawing 1 to 3 years or 1 to 5 years, and then 5 to 10 years or 10 plus years. Ito lang yung ginagawa ko personally. You can adjust it. Dito sa short-term goals, ang examples, again, example lang ito. Emergency fund na 3 months kasi you can start with just 1 month emergency fund and then move on to 3 months and then 6 months or 12 months depending on your needs. Personal finance is personal. Always remember that. Personal budgeting is personal. What works for me may not work for you. So do what works for you. So sa example natin, ang emergency fund niya na 3 months, ito yung goal niya. You can write here your why. Kasi dapat alam natin yung why. Bakit mahalaga sa atin ang goal na to? We should know our purpose. Kasi kung nagsisave ka lang na nagsisave at hindi mo alam kung para saan yan at bakit mahalaga ito sa'yo, sometimes we go off track at madali tayong mabudol, 'di ba? Nakakalimutan natin, may goal pala ako pero may sale, sayang yung sale. So it's important that you know your why so that it will motivate you para mag-save palalo and to really go for your goal. Tapos, lagay niyo yung target date. Kailan niyo ba to gustong ma-achieve? So for this one, 131, amount needed 60,000 pesos. Maybe 20,000 yung expenses niya per month. Kaya 3 months worth of emergency fund is 60,000. Amount saved so far, na-save niya na lahat. So 60,000 na rin yung naipon niya. Amount left to save 0 na kasi 100% na. So na-complete niya na. That's why it's goal achieved. Kung mayroon kayong medium-term goals, let's say you are saving up for a down payment for a house and lot, lagay niyo yung target date, amount needed, amount saved, same also with your long-term goals. Ayan, very easy lang, 'di ba? Year pa lang, alam mo na magkano yung kailangan mong pag-ipunan, how long would it take for you to achieve your goals, and how far are you in terms of the progress of your goal. Dito makikita nyo magkano na ba yung na-save nyo total, magkano pa yung kailangan yung i-save based sa dami ng goals na nilagay nyo dito. You can write as many goals as you want and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Wala pong bayad mangarap. Libre pong mangarap pero syempre, we need to take action if we want to achieve our goals. Sabi nga dito, if a goal is worth having, it's worth blocking out the time in your day-to-day life necessary to achieve it. So, hindi lang po tayo nangangarap. We also have to take action. Pero I always say we have to pray about it also. Kasi marami tayong plans, marami tayong mga pangarap, but it's always the Lord's purpose that prevails. Sabi nga sa Proverbs 19:21. And by the way, ito, pwede nyo itong palitan. Pwede nyo gawing yung mga favorite quotes nyo or affirmation or mantra. You are free to change this or to put anything that you like here. Okay, so we're done with the goals. Next tab naman tayo. So kung goals, ito yung pinaka-overview ng ating mga financial goals, short term, medium term, and long term. Dito naman sa savings tracker, ito yung actual na sinisave natin per period. So kung ang goal mo ay magkaroon ng 100,000 by the end of the year, December 2025, kailangan mong mag-ipon at least 4,200 kada kinsenas at katapusan. Pagdating ng 12/31, buo na yung 100,000. May sobra pang 800. Kung hindi naman ito realistic para sa'yo, o ilagay mo lang how much ba yung kaya mong itabi for your emergency fund. Pwede mo naman siyang baguhin yung goal date kung hindi kaya hanggang December 2025. So ilagay nyo lang how much yung actual na nasisave nyo per pay period. Ngayon, 115, magbibigay ka ng 2,000. Sa 31, medyo malaki yung sweldo mo, so tinaasan mo, ginawa mo ng 5,000. Pwede naman ganyan. If you have other goals, you can do the same thing. Let's say you want to travel to Baguio, halimbawa. Ayan, ilagay nyo how much yung iyong goal, kailan ka magsa-start, kailan mo ito gagamitin. Let's say, meron ka ng 15,000 agad ngayon, o magkano na lang 5,000. At kailan mo paglalaanan yung balance. So you can write as many as 10 goals here. Pwede nyo ring i-copy if you have more than 10 goals. Ito po ang ating savings tracker. Next is our debt tracker na halos kaparehas lang ng ating savings tracker. Nagkaiba lang ng konti dito sa mga nakalagay. Like earlier, you're saving for, dito naman I'm paying for. And then you'll write here your credit card information, kung credit card man yan, or kung loan, ilagay nyo lang. And same thing, start date, goal date, current debt. And yung interest rate, magkano ba yung current na interest rate na binabayaran mo? And dito makikita mo magkano na yung nabayaran mo, magkano pa yung balance. So kung na-paid mo na yan, very good. 100% fully paid ka na sa debt na yan. And that's our goal, to eliminate yung mga consumer debts, yung mga bad debts. And okay lang na meron tayong mga debts, pero good debts dapat. Income generating debts. Let's say, kumuha kayo ng loan para sa isang property, and that property is expected to generate income over time. Para kahit nagbabayad kayo ng loan, nag-earn naman ng income to, so pwedeng ipambayad nyo lang din sa loan. That's what we call good debt. Ayan, tapos na tayo sa net worth, sa financial goals, sa saving tracker, at sa debt tracker. At ngayon naman, magbabudget na tayo. First of all, ano nga ba ang budget? It's simply a spending plan. Huwag po nating katakutan ang pagbabudget or that B word, kasi hindi naman po ito masama. In fact, makakatulong po ito para mas lalo pa nating maayos, ma-organize, maplano ang ating pera. Mahalaga ang pagbabudget para alam natin, nakikita natin kung saan nga ba napupunta yung ating pera. At kung nakikita natin, nag-overspend tayo madalas sa ating food budget, ano ba yung pwede natin gawin to adjust our food budget? Although sinasabi ng iba, tipirin na ang lahat, wag lang pagkain, okay lang po yan kasi budgeting, it's personal preferences. It's values-based. Ano ba yung mahalaga sa inyo? Ano ba yung priorities nyo? And I cannot say na wag nyong ilagay lahat sa pagkain. Of course, I can because iba-iba tayo ng pananaw, iba-iba tayo ng paniniwala. But if you have a budget, you can also set your goals. Ano ba yung priorities nyo? Ano ba yung gusto nyong unahin? Maybe we're eating out so much, kaya hindi tayo nakakapag-save. Wala nga tayong emergency fund, pero nakakalabas tayo, nakakakain tayo ng masasarap sa mga mamahaling restaurant, pero ang totoo, wala tayong emergency fund. And I'm not here to judge. It's okay kasi inyo naman yan. Pero kung may mas mahalaga tayong priorities or goals, we can make some sacrifices. Hindi naman sinasabi na ang pagbabudget, madedeprive ka or tatanggalin lahat ng mga ginagawa nyo ngayon or pinagkakagastusan nyo. No, that's not what it means. Ang ibig sabihin lang ng pagbabudget is you can make a spending plan na isasali mo doon yung inyong budget. It's okay na ang pinaprioritize natin yung current needs natin ngayon, pero dapat isaalang-alang din natin yung ating mga pangangailangan in the future. Tatanda rin tayo, so dapat may retirement fund din tayo. Ang ating mga anak, mag-enroll din yan sa college, kaya kailangan paghandaan din natin yon. Maybe in the future, you want a bigger house, a bigger car, so paano tayo makakapag-ipon towards our financial goals kung lahat ng natatanggap natin ay lumalabas? Diba? Kaya mahalaga na binobudget natin para mabudget natin yung para sa ngayon at para bukas. Okay? So ayan, mag-budget na tayo at marami na po ako nasasabi. So sa January 2025, budgeting is forecasting. Forecast natin magkano ba yung ini-expect natin na sweldo, na-expected na expenses natin. For 115, let's say lang ang sweldo mo kinsenas katapusan, you're expecting your salary, let's say 15,000, pero ang actual mong marireceive is 20,000. Yung actual, pwede nyo tong gawin sa day na naka-receive na kayo ng salary. Nilagay ko lang dito para makita nyo how it looks like. Pero yung expected, dapat ginagawa natin to before we receive our salary. And then yung actual, on the day or maybe a day after you receive your salary para hindi nyo makalimutan. Ayan, let's say you're receiving your salary twice a month, tapos meron pa kayong side hustle, tapos may business. Ayan, so makikita nyo dito how much ba yung na-receive mong income for January 2025. Dito nyo siya makikita at makikita nyo yung graph dito. And sa expenses naman, dito na natin ililista lahat ng ating mga pinagkakagastusan. And again, it's values-based. It depends on your values na pinaniniwalaan. Like for some, inuuna talaga nila yung tithing. I personally do that. Whenever we receive an income, una sa budget, yung allocation for our tithe and donations or offerings, because that's what we believe in. And for some who don't believe in that, maybe they give money to the church through offerings o kaya sa charities or donations. Tapos yung iba, savings, di ba? Yung iba inuuna yung savings, kakaltas na kaagad, 20%, 30%, para hindi na nila iisipin pa before nila gastusin. O kung gusto nyo unahin yung debt, whatever your priorities are, ilagay nyo dito. At syempre, yung mga needs ay mga priorities natin. Food, groceries, utilities, internet, transportation, shopping, ito na. So needs and wants. Ilagay nyo lahat dito. May pang Shopee, may pang Lazada. Put it all there. Kung meron kayong mga anak for tuition fees, school fees, kung meron kayong mga sinusuportahan na kapamilya, parents, mga kapatid, kamag-anak, ilagay nyo lahat yan dito sa expenses. And then, tingnan nyo magkano yung total expenses nyo. At dito nyo rin makikita yung summary. Actual income minus actual expenses, magkano ang natitira? O meron pa bang natitira? Kasi kung hindi nyo pa inilagay dito yung savings nyo, nilista nyo muna lahat ng expenses nyo, wala pang savings. Kasi syempre yung iba, diba, kulang pa yung income sa dami ng expenses. So hindi pa natin pwedeng mailagay yung savings. So dito mo malalaman Meron pa ba akong sobra para pang-save? Kung wala, o dito mo na iisipin, ano ba yung pwede kong gawin para kahit papaano mayroon akong naitatabi? Kasi, paano pag biglang may nangailangan ng money sa family? Saan mo huhugutin yun kung wala kang savings, di ba? Mahirap mang sabihin pero dapat po nating paghandaan yan, okay? It's always important that we set aside money, however small man yan, para sa ating emergency fund, first of all, at para sa iba pa nating mga financial goals. Remember yung financial goals natin dito, lahat po yun may price tag. Kailangan pong paghandaan, pag-ipunan. So kung wala po tayong nasi-save dito sa ating income, paano po natin mapag-iipunan yung mga goals natin? And that's one of the reasons kung bakit tayo nagbabudget, para malaman natin saan tayo pwedeng magtipid, kung kailangan magtipid, or ano pa yung pwede natin gawin to add income. Kung hindi na kayang tipirin, edi harap tayo ng ibang paraan para mag-earn ng additional income. And by the way, if you enter the date here sa income and expenses, automatic na siyang mag-a-appear sa calendar budget, which is a good overview para makita niyo, oh, salary ko pala sa 15. Ano yung mga kailangan kong bayaran sa 15? Tithe, savings, food. January 31, marireceive ko yung salary ko, kailangan ko magbayad ng debt payment, ng internet. Lagay nyo lang siya dito ng date para mag-appear siya dito. And if you want to see it, scroll nyo lang to the right. Pwedeng hanggang dito na lang sa income and expenses, pero I highly suggest that you also track your spending. This is why I added here an expense tracker na separate siya dito sa expenses para pwede nyo siyang gawin, pwede ring hindi, at hindi ito magkaka-affect sa inyong expenses table here. Okay? So, if you decide na i-track ang inyong expenses para alam nyo kung saan napupunta ang inyong pera, pwede nyo siyang gawin dito. Start with the date. Ano ba yung pinagkagastosan nyo? Gift ba yan? Food, transportation? And then, ilagay nyo yung amount. Itong categories pala, meron tayo ditong expense breakdown. Ito yung categories. So, alamin nyo ano ba yung mga categories sa budget nyo. Lahat na nandito, ito yung mag-a-appear sa drop down. So, kung meron kayong gustong baguhin, dito nyo siya babaguhin. Kung meron kayong gustong idagdag, dito nyo siya idadagdag para mag-appear siya dito sa categories. Dito nyo rin malalaman kung magkano yung napunta sa food, magkano yung napunta sa groceries, magkano napunta sa transportation, para madali nyong matrack. I hope it's clear. Ulitin nyo na lang yung video kung medyo naguluhan kayo. Now, kung wala kayong idea, ano ba Janice yung mga categories? Ayan, meron akong mga nilagay na sample budget categories dito sa baba. Pwede nyong lagyan ng income, ano ba yung income? Salary, commission, bonus, dividend, or kung ano man yan. Sa house, pwedeng pang rent yan, furniture, home insurance, real estate, tax, property. Again, this is not set in stone. You can adjust it. You can make your own categories. Like, yung iba sasabihin, home insurance, di ba dapat nasa insurance yan? Yeah, pwede naman. Kaya nga you can adjust it, di ba? Ako lang nilalagay ko yung home insurance under house kasi it's related to home. Minsan, nilalagay ko rin siya sa insurance para nandun lahat ng insurance is car insurance, home insurance, life insurance. Nasa inyo yan. You can adjust it. After the expense tracker, now it's time to have a reflection, and this is optional, okay? Itong part na to, yung expense tracker and reflection, it's optional, but if you can make time to do this, mas maganda syempre. So, at the end of the month, you just write here, what went well? Ano ba yung magandang nagawa ko this month? Hindi ako nag-over budget. I stick to my budget and I'll do it again next month para makasave pa ako lalo sa aking mga financial goals. You can just write anything here para ma-motivate ka. And dito naman sa what didn't go well, ano ba yung pwede mong i-improve para sa next payday or sa next month? Kung nag-over budget ka on dining out or shopping, o maybe next time bawasan mo na ng konti, 'di ba? Huwag mo nang mag-scroll sa mga online shopping apps kung napapagastos tayo. At yan ang makikita nyo sa lahat ng months. Kinopya ko lang yan for January to December. Yan. So para may idea lang kayo, ito yung sample budget. After ng mga monthly budgets natin, meron pa ditong last tab, annual summary. Pero, hindi ko na siya finormula para pwede nyong ma-edit manually. Iba-iba naman tayo ng income sources, iba-iba naman tayo ng expenses. I-type na lang natin dito yung ating actual na income sources and expenses at yung amount ng bawat isa per month. Gagawin nyo lang to every end of the month or first day of the next month para alam nyo yung total for the whole month. So, lagay nyo dito for January, then for February, same with your expenses. Pero nakatotal na rin dito yung total, let's say for salary 1 by the end of the year, at yung total nito dito. Ayan. So, I hope this helps. Pero kung ayaw nyo naman siyang gamitin, okay lang din. Okay? Walang pilitan. It's just there para lang makita natin yung annual overview ng ating monthly budget. Ayan, so ito yung aking pinakabagong budget spreadsheet at nakita nyo naman ang daming features, ang daming tabs, mayroong net worth, goal, saving tracker, debt tracker, pati na din yung mga monthly budgets at yung annual budget. So, kung gusto nyo pong makakuha ng copy nitong budget tracker, pwede nyo pong i-click or i-check yung aking link sa description at sa comment section. At kung hindi pa kayo ready para sa aking premium budget tracker, no problem kasi meron po akong ginawang free budget tracker. So ito po yung simpleng-simple lang na monthly budget. Kung nagsisimula pa lang kayo, if you just want to get started in budgeting, pwede nyo po itong i-download for free. Ilalagay ko na rin po yung link sa description at sa comment section. Well, we don't know what's going to happen this year because of course, life has full of uncertainties and we don't know what the future holds, but we can trust and have faith in God na He has a good plan for us. Sabi nga sa Bible, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and to give you hope in a future. Let's hold on to that promise na mayroong magandang future na nagaantay sa atin ngayong year at sa mga susunod pang taon, God willing. That's it for our video today. Sana may natutunan kayo at abangan nyo pa ang aking mga susunod na videos. Marami pa tayong pag-uusapan tungkol sa usaping pera at finances. Thank you so much for watching and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and see you on my next video. Bye!